Hi there. Okay, my name is Art. So today we will be talking about IELTS. Okay, so what is IELTS? IELTS is International English Language Testing System. Okay, so IELTS of course is divided into 4 parts. We also have reading, speaking, listening, and writing. So somehow, well, we could say also that it's a little similar to TOEIC, but of course IELTS is different. Okay. One difference, of course, that you need to know about IELTS is that IELTS, mostly the conversation is more on British accent. Okay. So as you know, of course, that it's actually the British Council who made IELTS. So that is why, of course, they are also using most vocabularies are also British spelling and also with a British accent. In case you don't know, of course, that there are really difference between American English and also British English. Like for example, like maybe you would hear like the word data, and then suddenly you're going to hear data. So what would be the difference? Data actually is also correct. Data, on the other hand, is also correct. Both are correct. The difference is, of course, with the use of the English. Data is American English, while data, of course, is British English. So, if you are here to study IELTS, that's one thing you need to know. Because in IELTS listening, you will be hearing a lot of British accent, and also at the same time, they will be using also spelling in British. Okay. There is also a difference when it comes to British spelling and also with its American spelling. Like for example, we have the word color. So in American English, color is C-O, or the spelling of color is C-O-L-O-R. But in British, it's C-O-L-O-U-R. But actually both are still correct. Okay? Now, why do people want to study IELTS? Of course, the reason for this is for people who wanted to work in another country, and also for people who wants to migrate in another country. Okay? Now, enough with this one. So let's move on, of course, to the main thing. Today, we will be talking about what we call IELTS listening. Okay? IELTS listening is also divided into 4 sections. Section 1, well, Section 1 is really easy. It's the easiest one, okay? Section 2, well, so far Section 2 is also easy because it's all about the conversation between 2 persons. Third section, it's all about education. So you will be hearing 2 people talking. Usually it's a teacher and a student, or it could be a tutor and a student. And then the 4th one is considered to be the most difficult part because of course it's all about academic lecture. Okay? Now, before we start our listening, of course I'm going to give you some tips. I hope that these tips will help you, of course, in getting a perfect score in IELTS listening. The first tip, of course, is also important. We need to follow instructions carefully. Okay? So we need to follow instructions carefully because they may be different from the ones you have practiced. So not only in listening, not only in IELTS, it could also happen also, okay? Like just ordinary tests, you can still do it, okay? And then we have the next one is you have to listen to specific information you want, okay? So tune in. Okay, you have to listen to the specific information you want or is needed. Okay. Next, of course, is we need to try, or it's also important to anticipate, okay, what the speaker will say. Because if you try to anticipate what the speaker will say, then of course, well, anticipating the speaker itself can help you also predict the question. Okay? Predict what is going to happen next. Okay? And we also have, well, most students actually, they have also worries about vocabulary. Okay, so like for example, if they don't know the meaning of the vocabulary, then suddenly they can't remember also, or maybe like they cannot move on or continue listening. So don't worry about vocabulary because you may not use it anyway. So just move on, okay? Because in IELTS listening, when the speaker is talking, it will just continue talking, and talking, alright? So it will not stop. Like, for example, you will say, excuse me, can you repeat again? No, you cannot do that, okay? Next, of course, is if you do not know the answer to the question, then move on to the next one, okay? Because as I said earlier, the speaker or the speaker in the listening tape will not stop talking. So it will just continue talking, and talking. So if you don't know the answer, you have to move on to the next one, alright? So these are actually just some things, of course, that you have to remember and you have to know when it comes to taking IELTS test, okay? Another thing you need to know also is that, well, if you don't know the answer, you have to make an educated guess, okay? Because all the answer or all the choices to the answers are there. So if you don't know, or maybe you missed, okay, the listening or the question, and then you move on to the next one, then you can go back. You really have to answer the question. You know, some other students, when they take the test, if they don't know the answer to the question, they leave it blank. No. Okay? It's not good. In this case, you have given, or you are given a chance to answer. So make an educated guess when you try to answer it. Okay? And then, another thing also that you have to remember also in listening tests is that when you try to listen, and then when you hear that maybe the speaker is talking about a topic that is difficult, or if the speaker is talking fast, don't panic, okay? Don't panic, because of course if you panic, you will also don't know the answer to the question. Just relax, tune in, okay? And of course the last one, if you have time or if you can finish early, there's nothing wrong if you try to go back and check your answers again, okay? So this is the most important thing also in IELTS listening. So I hope that you have learned something today, and good luck when you try to take IELTS listening. Okay, thank you.